A very good morning to all of you. This is Fedena support and today we are going to know about this core modules in detail. So in the process of webinar, you will come to know about some optimal solutions that will help you to implement Fedina at your end. So before starting into this application and the usage of it, I would just like to let you know that there are four basic kinds of user. The admin user who has the sole privileges, and then the parent user and the student user whose privileges are always fixed, and then we have the employee user whose privileges can be fixed upon based upon the task that he or she has been assigned to. So when we say these privileges, so this would mean that we are giving the access to use some of the links that are available in the application. So if somebody is a librarian, so we will be giving him the librarian privilege. If somebody is a person of the HR, so we have to give him the HR privileges. So that's the way how this privileges has been divided and can be put to use in Fedina. So let's log in as an admin and explore what all we have in store for us. We'll start up with the admin account here. So once you have logged in as the admin, we will be able to see some of the dashboards like this, and these dashboards that you are seeing up here will be you'll be able to drag them and drop them at any point of time. So the dashboard that you're seeing up here has been divided into these dashlets, which will give you the relevant information about each of these boxes up here. So may it be because about the book return due, or may it be because of the leave applications, or may it be because of the events. So information against each of these sections will be available for you using this boxes. And then we have this manage dashless links, where you will be able to choose which all dashlets that you are in need of. So you can even check out the list of all the available dashlets on clicking upon this manage dashlets, and once you are done, you will be able to get your dashlets in the page up here. And again, this dashlets can be minimized, can be chalked out, and can also be reloaded in real time. So this would further mean that once you have made any changes during the application or during the course of moving one page to another, the application, the dashlet or the relevant dashlet will give you the updated information about the same. So if there is an event occurred and if you are going to see the event, so on clicking upon this reload button, you will be able to see the latest events here. And then you can even choose what all dashlets that you need, and those relevant dashlets will be available on your dashboard. So that is all about how this dashlets can be used up. The next thing would be the quick links, where we will be able to put our all frequently used links, so that all those frequently used links can be put to use here. So let us suppose we have all the frequent used links in this. So let us say that the blog, email, and event creation are the one that you need. So you can check any one of them or all of them and hit upon this submit button. So this would give you a modified quick links, where you can have all your recent links from here. So that is all about how these quick links can be used up, and these quick links and managed dashlets were a part of the recent updates that has been given to increase the usability of the application on the functional as well as the UI level. So now let's start up with this administration tab and go straight away to the settings, where you'll be able to configure your application to suit the needs of your institute. So we would start off with the general settings. On clicking general settings, we can enter the school or college name. So basically the basic idea behind general settings is to let the application know about your institute. So maybe the school or college name, or school or college address, school or college phone number. All this information can be entered up here, and it will be available up in the relevant places in the application. And then the student attendance type, so we can enter the student attendance type as daily or subject wise. So based upon the institute's choice, we can enter the attendance type. And then we have the financial start date and financial end date, which would ask you to enter the fiscal year. So we can enter it up here. And then comes the starting receipt number. Starting receipt number is a place where we will be able to enter the receipt of the first receipt where the application will be generating. And once it's generated, the subsequent receipt numbers will be having a the subsequent receipts will be having a auto incremented value of the one that you've entered here. So let us suppose I'm entering it as KA01. The next receipt numbers would be KA02, KA03, KA04, and so on. And then we have this time zone. So for you can even change Fedina to your required time zone, may it be the GMT or the IST and so on. And then comes the country name. So you can even enter the country name of your choice and the currency type. The currency type that you'll be entering up here may be INR or USD or SD. This would be used up in the finance module, where all your transactions will be taken or will be coming up in terms of the currency type that you have entered up here. And then comes the precision count. So you can put the precision count as 2. So once you've entered the precision count as 2, this would mean that the user won't be able to enter any other number after 2 decimal digits. So since we are dealing with the finance in the, being the major module up here, so every decimal digit would even count. So that way, so to avoid any kind of confusion up here, we have included the precision count to only 2 digits, so that every time a user enters up anything after 2 decimal digits, he or she will be restricted to only 2 digits after the decimal, and the application won't entertain any other number after the 2 decimal digits. And then comes the upload logo. So once you have entered up the logo up here, say choose file, you will be from the choose file option up here, you will be able to upload your logo in the from your local system. And once you have entered that, you will be able to choose the a logo under the restriction, obviously with 500 KB max or 150/110 resolution. So once you've entered up all the logo, it will be available up in the login page, the logout page, and all the PDFs that will be generated from your application. And then there's the grading system, where you can enter the grading system as your required grading system, like like the CC, CW, and GPA. And then we have the Moodle URL. So you can enter your Moodle URL up here. So once you have entered the Moodle URL, you will be able to integrate Fedina with your Moodle account, and you can even select the theme from here. So Fedina is available in all exciting themes like orange, dark blue, black, green, yellow, blue, and gray. And you can even choose this enable auto increment student admission number. So once you have chosen up this enable auto increment student admission number, so all you need to do is enter the admission number of the first student, and then the rest of the students will be having an auto incremented number of the one that you have entered up here. So this would further mean that if I am entering it as S0001 for the first student, the subsequent students will be having it as S0002, S0003, S0004, and so on. And then we have this enable news comment moderation, where I will be able to, being the admin, I will be able to moderate or choose what all comments that can be published for the news item. So if somebody puts a comment, and I can even check whether this particular comment has to be published or not. So every comment will be moderated by the admin once this has been checked up. And then we have this enable sibling, which allows the user to check the sibling data of a student while admitting him or her. So this would basically add the parent details of one sibling to the new sibling who's getting added in the application. So this would prevent the user from entering the parent details again and again from here. And moreover, the parents will be having a single login to both the words. And then we have this enable first time login change password. The enable first time login change password will actually help the user to change the password whenever they log in for the first time. So it's actually a security reason that we have to forward, because whenever we are creating a parent login, the parent ID and the parent ID 123 would be the credentials, and similarly for the student it would be the student admission number, and student admission number 123 would be the default credentials, and the same thing goes for the employee also. So if you're using this option, the user will be asked to enter the password or the new password, and once it's changed, then only the system will proceed further. And then on clicking update, you'll be able to update all the configurations that you have done just now. Then last but not the least, enable OAuth actually helps you to sign into Fedina using your Google credentials. So once you clicked upon update from here, you will be able to update all the information that you have put here. Next comes the manage course or batch. So on clicking manage course and batch, you will be able to see two links up here which says manage course and manage batch. I can click upon one of these manage course link, and on clicking new I'll be able to see, or I'll be able to create a new course for my batch. So what I can do is I can just put up here grade 08 being the name of my course, grade 08 again, and then I can select the grading system type. So again, the grading system can be normal, it can be GPA, CWA and CC, and we can even put the elective selection option. So although Fedina supports this normal grading system where you can tweak the system to any kind of examination pattern that you have, but if we also do have a prefixed set of grading system like the GPA, CW and CC, where you can enter up and see what all we can do it from here. And then we have this enable elective selection. Enable elective selection actually helps students to choose their own electives. So while creating this subject for the students or for the batches, the user is asked to enter the last date, so the student can enter their own choices by a particular deadline. And once this enable elective selection is opened up, and then we have this initial batch details. So we have to enter up the batch details of the first batch that can be generated from here, like A2014, and then on clicking the button save, I will be able to create a course with the name of grade 08 with the code grade 08 and the grading system type being normal and the batch details being A2014. Then on hitting the button save, I'll be able to see my course which has been created successfully from here. So that's the course that we just created, grade 08 with a batch in it. Further, if you would like to create some more batches in this course, I can go to this new button and create the course from here. So grade, or I would call it as B2014, yes, with the start date and end date and their options up here. So these two options that you're seeing up, which says import previous batch subjects and import previous batch master fees, can actually put to use whenever we are entering the subjects of the first batch or the previous batch that you have just entered. And if you have entered the master fees of the previous batch, you can just import them by using this link from here. So all the data that you have entered, or all the maybe the subjects or master fees, will be applicable for this batch also. So this again prevents the user from entering the subjects or the master fees again and again for the new batch which belongs to the same course only. So that's all about how this courses can be created and the batches can be entered into it. Moreover, if you would like to see the batches, or moreover if you would like to see the courses up here, so what we can do is we can just select a course from here, and let us suppose we are going to select the course called grade 08, the one that we have just chosen up. So on clicking grade 08, I'll be able to see the available batches in it. So if there are any students up here, on clicking this, I'll be able to see the list of all the students here. But since we do not have any students, it will be coming up as a blank table. And then we have the grading system type. You can even choose the grading system type from here, or you can even see that. And then there comes a button which says the batch transfer or revert batch transfer. So the batch transfer option actually helps the user to transfer the students when they move from one batch to another. Supposingly, let us say that these grade 8 students get transferred to a batch grade 9, and in that case we can actually transfer the students from one batch to another using this batch transfer option. So all we need to do here is we need to click upon this grade from here, the grade that we just chosen up, grade 08 say, and then click upon batch transfer to transfer the students when they move from one batch to another by clicking upon batch transfer here. So here we have to select the from course where we have chosen it already, and then when we are choosing the to course, it will be available up as a drop down. We can choose the destination batch, and students from this batch will be transferred to the one that will be entering up here. And then comes the graduation link. So whenever the student passes all the batches, like say grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 and grade 10, at the end they can be graduated. So, and once they've been graduated, they will be coming up as the archive students list. So that is all about how this batch transfer can be done. But supposingly, let us say that you have committed a mistake and you want to revert the batch transfer that you have made. You can also do so by going to the particular batch and selecting the students to whom this batch transfer are to be done. Then we have an option called grading systems here, where we'll be able to see the grading levels that are applicable for that particular batch. So this is all about how this configuration for the courses and batches can be done. So now let's jump into the manage subject, where we'll be able to manage some subjects for each of these batches. So we can select upon the batch from here. Let us say I would like to create a set of subjects for the grade that I've just created, which says grade 08. So I need to select it from here. Grade 08, or any one of the grade that can also be taken here. So I just selected the batch grade 08 A 2014, and I can start creating my subjects from here. So to create a normal subject, I can click upon add normal subject and add it. But basically we would like to let you know that in Fedina we have two kinds of subjects. Type 1 is the normal subject and type 2 would be the elective subjects. So if you would like to create a normal subject, you can create it by just clicking upon the add normal subject link from here, and then the name which says math suppose, and the code MAT, maximum weekly classes 4, and then on clicking the button save, I will be able to create the subject for them. Moreover, we also have a no exam option where we can avoid that particular subject to have examinations upon. So let us suppose there will be some subjects where we do not need an examination, like but they would still come up in the timetable. So in those cases we can create it with a no exam thing. Then on hitting the button save, I can create my subject. To create another subject, I can again go to the add normal subject. Let us say English with a code ENG and a maximum weekly classes as 4, and then on clicking the button save, we'll be able to enter maths or English from here. And then we have a new elective group here. On clicking new elective group, I need to type the name of the elective group, say elective group 1, and then on hitting the button save, I'll be able to create an elective group for the batches. So now the elective group has been created. So now it's time to add some subjects into this elective group. So let us suppose the elective group can be something like Hindi, the code HIN, and maximum weekly classes can be again 4, save. And then we can again go to add button from here and add it as say French code FRE, and then the maximum weekly classes is 4 and save. So now we have some batches like this. Now we have all those subjects created successfully. So now we can again go to our batch with the name grade 08 here, which should be coming up like this. So the elective group 1 has been created with the subject as Hindi and French. Now we can assign, if we have some students in it, we can even assign the students to have the required batches here. So let us say somebody is interested to read Hindi, we can even assign it for him. But we also have an option where we will be able to let the students assign their own or assign themselves their own subjects by using this enable elective selection during the time of the course creation itself. So that's all about how these subjects can be created. And then we have this manage student category. So let us suppose that your institution that you are in wants to categorize the students into various categories like locals, hostelers, physically handicapped, and so on. So you can just create it from here, and once it's created, it will be available up as a table from here, so as a listing in the table. So please note that this category should always be unique. So once a category is entered up here, it will be available up in this table and will also be available up in the drop-down menu while entering up the student details. So that's all about how the student categories can be created. The next thing that goes up here would be the adding up of the admission details. So although Fedina has a list of features where the additional details can be changed up, but apart from the one, if you would like to add some more additional details, may it be the student admission, may it be the admission agent that help you to get the student, or the passport details of the student, and so on. So you can add the additional details from here by typing the name, the input method, and so on. So I'll just create one sample additional detail for you with a text box thing. And again, the input method that we have can be divided into 4 kinds, whether it's a text box or text area, select box, or checkbox. So I can just select which one I need, and on hitting the button create, I'll be able to create my own additional detail. So that's the way how these additional details can be created. And again, each of these additional details can be made as mandatory also. So if at all we need some additional detail to be filled up mandatorily by for all the students, we can use this is mandatory option, where that particular additional field will be made as mandatory, and this way we'll be able to have the details of that particular field for all the users, all the students. So since now we are done with this manage student category, courses and batches and subjects, so now we can just move towards this SMS module. So the SMS module is the place where you will be able to send SMS from the application. But please note that before using the SMS module, you need to have this SMS settings in your accounts. So once you have this SMS settings in your accounts, you will be able to send SMS. So the application will be able to send SMS from from here to the respective mobile numbers of the or the phone numbers of the students, parents and employees. So but before doing it, we need to do a bit of settings more from here also in the SMS settings part, where we need to enable these settings, or when we need to enable the application to use these SMS settings that has been given up from the accounts part there. So once you click upon this part, you can hit upon this update button, so that this application will update, or will be updated to use the SMS that are available for this particular school. And then we can even choose in which part does this SMS would be going up. So if we want to notify the students whenever the new admission is made, so we can hit upon this student admission. So the student will be getting a notification saying that you have been admitted with these credentials, and again the student can go and log into Fedina using the credits that will be coming up to his mobile number as an SMS. And then we have this exam schedule or result. So whenever an examination has been scheduled or a result has been published, the notification about the same will ping up to the student's mobile number. The same goes when the student is absent. So the ward and the student will be informed saying the attendance has been saying the student has bunked the class, or the student has remained absent for the particular time. And then comes the events. So there may be some kind of event scheduled in your institution, may it be this post day or some other day, and whenever we are choosing up here, so the user will be notified, or the student will be notified saying the event has been published. And again, this SMS to parents, students and employees actually gives you, or gives the application the ability to send SMS to parents, students and employees also. So once you have done this, we can hit upon the update button and proceed further. So then comes the SMS home page, where we will be able to send SMS to the parents, students and employees. So on clicking this, you will be able to see that a particular employee has logged in. On clicking send SMS to students, you'll be able to see the badge here and all the students to whom you want to send an SMS. And then on clicking the name here, or on typing the SMS, will be, you need to click upon send SMS, and then SMS will be sent to your this required student here. And then we have this SMS to batches and SMS to employees, where we'll be able to send the SMS to batches and employees here. And then comes the employee departments. So all the SMS that has gone either automatically via notifications, or intentionally to the students, batches, employees and employee departments, can be tracked using this SMS logs from here. So all of this you will be able to see them, and the gateway response will always be visible from the SMS logs from here. So once you have done this SMS message and SMS logs, you are all done with the SMS configuration page or the SMS module. So the last but not the final least thing we have is the SMS to all. So this this link actually sends the SMS to all the users in the application. So all you need to do, just type in SMS, click upon send SMS and hit upon here. So this way an SMS will be sent to all the students in the application. So that's all about how this send SMS can be done, or the SMS can be monitored. Now this completes our configuration page. So now let's move upon to the rest part, where we will be able to admit some students into our application. To admit students into our application, we can hit upon this option from here, and then we can click upon academics tab, and then the students, so where we'll be able to search for a student. But if you want to admit a new student, we need to go to this academics tab, students link and student admission from here. So once you click upon student admission, you will be able to admit new students into your application from this option. So there would be a steps of some 5 to 6 pages, where we will be able to fill up the detail one by one and proceed on adding the attendance or adding the information about the students. So here comes a page where we can enter the first name. So let us say the first name can be Deepak, with a middle name, a last name and a course and batch. So we can even enter it from here, and then the course and batch has to be selected up here. So the grade 8 was the one which we just created, so we'll be entering data into the grade 8, and then the gender and other details have to be filled up, which are mandatorily. Since it's a part of demo, we won't be filling up all the parts, but we request our users to use all the fields available here so that you get a decent report while anything is sought for. And then on clicking save and proceed, you will be going to the next part of this here. So supposingly the student Subham, the one that we just entered here, Deepak, has a sibling studying in the same, so we can just search for the sibling name by putting it like this, and on clicking this from here, the sibling data of Abhishek will be copied up to the new student who is getting admitted. So this way the parent will be having one single login, and he can even switch on to the profiles instead of having two logins for two different wards studying in the same institute. And then we have this institution name, so we can enter the institution name, the course, the year, the total mark, and skip it if you don't need to enter it, or save and proceed if you want to save the details. Then comes the additional details that we have just entered from the configuration page. So we can even choose up or fill up the data that we have asked for, and then on hitting the save and proceed button, we will be able to enter, or we will be able to see the profile of the student. So this way you can add some students in your application. Next comes the student search, where you will be able to search for any student in your application. So you can go to this academics tab, students link, and student details, where you need to enter up the details of the student. So let us say I'm searching for a student called Abhishek, so I can just enter it like this, Abhishek, and on clicking Abhishek Kumar Pathak and hitting the name, I'll be seeing the profile of the student. So that's the way how this students can be searched up. Moreover, we also do have an advanced search, where we will be able to search for the advanced options, or we'll be able to have some unique searches for the students. Let us suppose I want the list of all the students who have this B positive blood group. So I'm clicking B positive and the search button, I'll be able to get the list of all the students who have this particular blood group from here. And again, the information about the same can also be sought for via PDF report or a CSV report. So that's all about how this student details can be searched up, how this admission can be done. So now let's go straight away to the human resource module. The human resource model, as the name suggests, helps you to create some or add some human resources like the employees, or configure the salary of the employees, and so on. So we can just go to the human resource model and see how it can actually function. So the basic idea behind having a human resource module is to manage all your human resources, or the employees basically. So we can even add some employees there. We can configure the pay slips, payrolls, and the leaves of the employees. So let's start upon with the human resource module, where we can go to this administration tab and the human resource link from here. So on clicking setting, we will be able to add the settings. Just like any other module, we need to do or configure the application to let it understand the details about our institute. So we can start up with the adding up the employee category, where we'll be able to add the employee category like this, with a name, a prefix, and this. So we can give it a prefix like this. So, and again, each of these categories that you'll be creating up here will be having a positions, so you can even choose or make different positions in each of these categories from here. So, and again, each of the position that you'll be entering up here will be available in the table and will also be available as a drop down in the a employee admission page. Then comes the employee department, where we will be able to add some department along with the department code. So in your institution there might be different departments where the employees can get themselves into. So you can even choose the department like the English department, general knowledge department, or the security department, and so on. And then comes the add employee grade. So the add employee grade is another part of the settings, the HR settings, to be more apt, where we can enter the name, the priority of a person who belongs to that particular grade, and then the maximum period per day and the maximum period per week here. So we can even choose how many periods would a particular person can have when he belongs to this particular grade, and the same can also be done for a particular week also. So once we have done this category, position, department, and grade, so now we can start off with the adding up of the payroll category. So when it comes to the payroll category, there can be two types of payroll category. The first category would be the one which is dependent, and the other would be the independent one. The independent payroll category would be the one where would be the one which doesn't depend upon anyone, as the name suggests. Examples for this would be like the basic pay, or the a bonus that you would like to put, like say 12 direct amount. But if it's an dependent like the DA or the HR and so on, so we would classify it under a dependent category. So we can create each of these categories from here by putting up the category here. So if it's a basic pay, all we need to do, just click upon basic pay and enter the and leave it, enter the percentage option, we can leave that, and the percentage off also, and hit upon the create button here. So, and again, once you've created this basic pay, now if you would like to create some more bonus and HRA which are actually related to this basic pay, so we can click upon this bonus from here, and along with the percentage, say 13% of basic pay. In that case, on clicking the button create, you will be able to create this basic pay for, you'll be able to create this bonus which depends as the base as the 13% of the basic pay. So this bonus will be created for all the employees in your institution. But if you would like to create some special payroll categories for some special employees, you can also do so by going individually to each of this individually into the payrolls of each of these employees. And then comes the bank details. So we can even add some bank details if we need to have it for the employee's profile, like the IFSC code, the bank name, the bank branch location, and so on. So we can add it from here, and then on hitting the button create, we'll be able to add the bank details from here. And then comes the add additional detail, where we will be able to add the additional details like this: the name, the text box and text area, as we did it for the students. So once you have entered up here, it will be available up in the admission page of the employer. So that is all about how this HR settings is. Now the next thing would be the employee management. The employee management is the employee admission, and comes with the employee subject association also. So on clicking employee admission, we will be able to admit the employee into the application. So to do so, we need to enter the employee number, which is, and since it's auto incremented, so it would give us a number of the last or an incremented number of the last employee, and then we can enter the name of the employee one by one. So let us suppose the name of the employee is Ridhish. We can enter the email, the gender, and so on. So we can enter the date of birth here, along with the department, the category, the position, and so on. So you can fill up all the details one by one, as it would be quite necessary during the while fetching the data from the application, and on hitting the button save and proceed, we will be redirected to the step 2 of the admission of the employee. So again these are the data like the line 1, like the home address, office address and contact details are to be filled up for this employee, and then you can proceed to the next step, which would ask you the bank details. The bank account number, bank name and the IFSC code are to be entered up as asked during the as configured during the HR settings part, and then we have this passport number and the medical history, which is to be entered one by one. On clicking save and proceed, we'll be redirected to the most important part of the employee admission, that's the setting up of the privileges. So to set up the privileges, we would need to just enter up the privileges where this person would come into play. Let us say that this person is the one who takes care of the library, so we will be giving him the librarian privilege, and then on hitting the button save, this person will be assigned the librarian privilege. So all the librarian data will be available for this particular employee. And then comes the reporting manager, where we have to enter the reporting manager here, like say Surya Kumari, and then on clicking the name of Surya Kumari ma'am will be selected as the reporting manager for this particular employee. So and on hitting the save and proceed button, then comes the last place where we need to enter up the basic pay. So please note that whenever we are entering up of the payroll categories or payroll entries for the employees for the first time, we need to just enter the first thing, or the uh, independent basic pay, and those categories which are not dependent upon this will be left as blank, and you can fill it manually, but the percentage linked ones will be automatically coming into the respective fields, and then we can hit upon the finish button so that the employees payroll can be created and the profile can be generated for the particular employee. So now this employee can log in as MS136 and MS136123 being the username and credit and password respectively. So that's how an employee can be admitted into the application. So now let's move upon to the next part of the HR, that's the employee, or the next part of the employee management, that's the employee subject association. So the basic idea behind this employee subject association is to associate a particular employee to teach a particular subject in a batch. So let us say I'm selecting a batch called grade 8 that we just created. So I'll be going to the batch grade 8. We have created some subjects up there, and like English, French, Maths and Hindi. So we can go to English, select a department from which we need the employees from, and assign some of the employees to teach here. So this would mean that we have associated 3 teachers to teach English in this batch. Similarly, we can do the same for Maths also. So we can now choose the department. So now the teachers who are assigned to teach maths will be coming up in this option here. So this way we have to assign 3 teachers to teach maths and 3 teachers to teach English from the academics department. So this completes your employee subject association. So now the next thing in cards would be the employee leave management. The employee leave management comes up with the 4 links, like the adding up of the leave types, attendance register, attendance report, reset leave and so on. Once we click upon add leave types, we'll be able to add the leave types, like may it be the casual leave, on leaves and so on, and put a maximum leave count there. So if the leave count is say 45, if the leave count is 5, then the person will not be able to take any leaves once he have exceeded the 5 leaves for the particular leave type. And then if we have this enable carry forward, so whenever the leave type is reset, maybe because of the end of a quarter or maybe because of the decision by the management, the remaining leaves will be carried forward to the next reset period. So then on hitting the button create, you will be able to create your own leave type. And then comes the attendance register. So the attendance register, which looks like a real register, where we need to select upon the department, which will give us a table or a sheet where we can fill up the attendance of the employees. So let us suppose we want to mark Sir Anthony as absent for today. I can mark it like this, select a leave type and tell the reason. Let us say fever, and then I'll hit the button submit. I'll be able to submit the attendance of the particular person. So moreover, next thing would be to go to this employee leave management and do it. But the next workaround to mark an employee as absent is when the employee applies for a leave from his end and the reporting manager approves it. In that case, this particular cell will automatically be marked as absent. Then comes attendance report. So we can even choose the attendance report of all the employees. So we can see the number of CLs taken, the number of other leave types taken. So but apart from the one, let us say that the number of casual leaves and earned leaves have exceeded for a person and he still wants to take a report, so he can communicate it to his reporting manager, and the reporting manager can mark him or her as absent using the register. So and all the additional leaves that has been taken can also be seen up using this option from this here. So let's suppose we go to the department academics and we choose and we want to see the additional leaves. So we can click upon additional leaves from here, select the month, say June or July, and the year to which you want to know the additional leaves taken. So you will be getting the list of all the additional leaves taken by this employee here. So we can take the CL, EL, and all the PDF report can also be seen from here. So that's all about how the attendance report and the additional leaves can be put to use. Then comes the reset leave option, where you will be able to reset the leaves or employees. So you can even do a bit of settings for the leave reset, where you'll be able to enable an automatic reset. So let us suppose there are 5 CLs and you want to reset this 5 CLs and add it for another quarter. So you can put it as 4 months and the count begin date from a particular date. So after every 4 months, this automatic reset will reset the leaves of the employees to again 5 based upon the scenario it is. And then this reset can also be done manually by going to this department reset, selecting the department, and individually you can even reset it, and we can even reset it for all this employee at a go. Then we have this create payslip. So whenever it comes to creating up of a payslip, it's actually a two-step process where the person who's in charge of HR has to apply for a payslip, and then the person who's in charge of finance has to either approve it or reject it. If it's approved, it will be taken as a transaction, but if it's rejected, it will be coming up in the rejected employee pay list. So we can even see the rejected employees whose pay list has been rejected by going to the academics department, and it will give us a list of all the rejected employees whose payslip, all the employees whose payslip has been rejected by some of the reasons. And then we can even create the payslip for each of this employee. So we can create the payslip, or we can even add some more categories for any one of the persons up here. Let us suppose we want to add it for Ismutulaman. I can just go to the particular salary date. I can enter the salary date of the person, enter the basic pay and other details, and add the individual category. And again, this category can also be a deduction also. So if this particular employee has a deduction that has to be done, like the loss of pay, so we can enter the thing as loss of pay, enter the amount which is to be done because of this loss of pay, say 1200, and click upon is deduction from here. And then on hit the button create, your payslip will be generated for that particular person, which will be notified to you by a flash message saying that Ismutullah salary slip generated for this. And then we have this one-click payslip generator and one-click payslip revert. So if we have all the payrolls and payslips in the right place for each of this employee, then we can go to this one-click payslip generator to generate the payslip of all these employees at a go. But if you feel that it's a mistake that you have just committed, then we also do have this one-click payslip revert, so that you can revert back to the last payslip that has been generated for all of your employees too. Then comes the employee search and employee payslip. So as the name suggests, you will be able to search for all of your employees by typing the name here. Let us say I'm typing the name of the employee called Ismatullah. So I can just go to here and select him from here. So I can search for my employee, and I can even view the payslip of all my employees by just going to the department and the month, and then on clicking view, I'll be able to see all the payslips that have been generated for this department on the month of August. You can even view it and get a PDF or CSV report of the same. So that's the way how this payslip can be generated. And this completes your human resource module. So now let's go to the timetable module, where we'll be able to see how the timetables can be set up. So to access the timetable, we need to go to the academics tab and then timetable. So whenever it comes to the timetable, it's actually a workflow that one needs to follow. So we can start off with the creating up of a weekdays by clicking from here, select the weekdays, and again these weekdays can be made specific and can also be made common for all the batches here. So I can just select the thing common from here and the weekdays where I need to enter, and then I'll hit the button save. I'll be able to create my weekdays. Then the next thing would be to set the class timings from here. The setting up of a class timing would mean that we can add the class timing set. So let us suppose I need to add a class timing set first of all in this process of managing the class timing sets. So I need to go to this class timing sets button and type the name of the class timing set. So we can enter a date here, and on the hit button submit, I'll be able to create a class timing set. And once I've created a class timing set from here, it will be available in this table. And once it's available in the table, I can hit upon this class timing and keep on adding the class timings from here. So whenever we are going to add some class timing, we would specify that the first slot that has been associated in this class timing set is to be started and ended at what time. So that's what the class timing would mean. So we can add one by one from here, and once we are done, we would end up having a decent report somewhat like this. So it's a decent table somewhat like this with an period 1 to 4, the recess in between, and assembly as per the requirement of your institute. So once we have done this class timing set will be available in this drop down in the class timing set page from the timetable, and you can assign which class timing set you would like to give here. So the batch that we had was grade 8, and to give grade 8 we have this available batches and we have this assigned batches here. So you can move upon which batches you need from here to here. Moreover, we can even choose one more set where we'll be able to assign the batches and click upon the available batches to move from one page to another. So that's all about this timetable part. So once you're done with this managing up of the class timetable sets, you can hit upon the timetable option from here and go to the next step of timetable. So the next step of a timetable would ask you to create or have a look upon the work allotment from here. The work allotment can be clicked from here, which is work allotment. And here we can even choose which all teachers are required for to teach maths in this particular batch. So the same thing that we did for employees association, we can also do so for single employees here. So, and again, the table on your right or the work allotment table gives you the list of all the employees who have deficit number of classes or who have remaining number of classes. Then we have this create timetable part. In create timetable, we will be able to create a new timetable for all of our students here in the batches. So I can just go to this particular create timetable link from here, create a timetable from 10th 8 2014 to 15 8 2014 and hit upon the create button, where you'll be able to create a timetable for. But again, please note that this timetable should not come up in any one of the pre-created timetables. So you need to create a timetable like this. So once it's created, it will be showing up from here, and then with a flash message saying that timetable structure for this time has been created. So this was all about how the timetable can be created and all. So once the timetable is created, you will be able to enter the details for each of them. So you can even click upon a timetable and edit the timetable for all of it for that particular batch. So let us say I have a timetable from here which says 17 October to 19 2014, and on clicking edit entries, I'll be able to edit the entries for any one of the timetables from here. So, and again, let us say that I would like to edit the entries for this particular time, say maths. For maths, I can choose which all teachers would I want, and the timetable can also be chosen up by selecting the tables from here. And again, if at all a weekly limit has crossed for the teacher or for the subject, it will be getting a notification saying this, that the weekly limit for the subject has been crossed. If you still want to continue, you can continue. You can even cancel it saying the same. So that's the way how these timetables can be created, can be edited, and can be viewed up from here. And again, to view timetable, you can just go to that particular timing, select the batch, and view the timetable from here. And again, we will get a PDF report of the same also, saying the list of all the timetables from here. Then comes the teacher's timetable, where you will be able to see the timetable of a particular teacher for the timetable that is just created. So the one that we just created was for 2014 month of October 17 to 19. So I can see that for this timetable on Mondays Dorothy was allotted, and for Tuesdays to teach social Radha ma'am was allotted, and so on. So that was the teacher's timetable that we'll be getting up. And then comes the institutional timetable, which will give you the list of the timetables of all the batches in a single shot from here. Then comes the timetable tracker, where we'll be able to swap the timetable and hit upon the swap timetable report to get the timetable report of the same. So I can click upon the swap timetable. So let us suppose that I would like to swap a timetable for a teacher in the month of October, let us say for 17th, and the batch. And if you have a timetable for this particular period, we can even choose it, or we can even select the teacher for that particular same. So we can even swap the timetable here. So let us say for the time, say 15th 10 2014, we have a teacher Anthony who is supposed to be absent. So we can even change it by clicking upon change here and assign the class to some other teacher to teach some other subject, and then on clicking OK, you'll be able to swap the timetable for the same. And moreover, all the swapping that has been done, you can even see the swap timetable report from here also. So you can click swap timetable report and choose upon the date and time for which you want to need the swap timetable report. So you'll be getting the list of all the teachers who have taught the lesser classes or who have taught the more classes from here. So let us suppose we get a timetable like this, on clicking the button search, you'll be able to see that the timetables done from this period to this period would be 1 minus. For Anthony has taught 1 less classes, so because and his classes was swapped by Miss Tirutama to teach maths on the same batch. And again, in the account of Tirutama also, you'll be able to see that Anthony's class was replaced by Tirutama and so on. So that's the way how the swap timetable has been taken up. So that completes your timetable module. Now let's go to this attendance module and see what all we have in store for us. Attendance module can be reached up from this attendance tab from here, academics tab, and then attendance link. So in attendance we have two links basically, attendance register and attendance report. So we can select the batch here and see the timetable. So the today's date will be highlighted in a yellow column. You can choose the yellow column from here and you can mark some of the places as absent for a particular person. Let us suppose that this particular person was absent. I can type the reason, say fever, and on clicking add, I'll be able to mark this person as absent. So in Fedina by default we mark the in Fedina by default the present is marked, but if you would like to mark someone as absent, we need to go to that particular profile and mark that particular person as absent. So that's the way how this timetable can be managed, or how the attendance can be managed up with the registered part. And we also do have a way where we will be able to see the report card of a attendance report of the person of a batch. So, and again the attendance report will be available in the monthly or overall methods also. So if you are going to the overall mode, you'll be able to see the list of all the persons along with the percentage, the admission number, and the total number of classes held. Moreover, we also have a filter up here, so you can even filter out all the students who have got a percentage or attendance percentage below 98%. So the listed will be available to you along with the PDF report and the CSV report of the same. So that was all about how this attendance can be taken. So now let's go to the examination module and see how the examination module can actually be put to use. The examination module starts off with the settings, where we will be able to start up with the settings like the setting up of the grading levels, ranking levels, class designations, and so on. So we can click upon set grading levels from here, type the batch and start upon clicking add grades from here. And again, these grade levels that will be adding up can be made specific to a particular batch. So by selecting the batch you can do it, and you can even choose it and make it as common also. So once you have done this, you can go to ranking levels from here. The ranking levels is a unique method where you will be able to define some criteria so that you can classify your students based upon the marks that they have scored. Supposingly you would like to create a criteria called passed, and to let us say that for a person to get passed in a particular course, you can, as a whole, you can and have the criteria as every person who has scored at least 40% in at least 4 subjects will be able to get himself as passed ranking level. So what we need to do here is we need to add the rank level as passed, type the marks from here and the limit type, whether it's lower or upper or exact, and the number of subjects here, and then the subject limit type can be put as lower. So this would mean that every student who has got at least 40% marks in at least 4 subjects would be marked as passed. The same thing goes up for the, or a similar thing goes up for the field link also. So if a person has got at most 40 marks in at least 2 subjects, so we would be marking him as failed. So this is the ranking level that you can create so that you will be able to classify students based upon the marks that they have scored in the various subjects. And then we have this class designations, so we can create some class designations here like the first class, second class, and third class based upon the marks that they have scored as a whole. And then comes the CC settings, which is actually used by the CBSE schools, where we need to create some basic settings, course corrected settings, and scholastic settings. So the basic settings that you need to create are the CC grade sets, exam categories, CC weightages, and so on. and then we have to do the course scholastic settings and scholastic settings for it. So we'll the more information about CC settings will be available uh, on our website soon. So now next thing would be to go to the exam management and click upon a particular course where you will be able to create a new course, or you'll be able to create an examination for your course. So we can go to a batch, that one that we have created in the course webinar with the name grade 08, and select upon a batch which says grade 08 from here and start creating up of a new exam from here. So to create a new exam, first of all, I need to type the name of the exam, say exam name 1, and the exam type as marks and grades. So once I have done it, I'll be able to hit upon the save button and create a maximum marks and minimum marks for the students up here. So, and again I can enter the start time and end time for each of the students here, and then once you have done it, you will be able to see a column on your right of this table which says do not create. This would mean that if we would like not to create examination for a particular list of subjects, so we can just go here and so those examinations won't be created as a list from here. And then on clicking save changes, I will be going to the part where the examination can be listed up here. So now the next thing would be to publish the exam schedule for the student. So to publish the exam schedule for the student, you all have to do just click upon publish exam schedule, and it will be notified to the student via an SMS or an email as per the configurations are set. And then on clicking into the examination, you will be able to enter the marks for a student. So if we have only one student here, so we'll be able to get here marks for him, and then we can enter up the marks of the student from here also. And then on clicking the button save, we'll be able to see what all marks we can enter and how the marks will be entered from here. So once the examination has been entered up, we can get upon this publish exam result to enter the result of the students, and this will be published up and will be notified to the students via an SMS if the SMS and or email settings is configured up. So that was all about how this exam management can be done and how the exams can be seen. But once you have entered up the marks, it will be available to the students whenever you are clicking upon the generate reports. So the generate reports basically uh, refreshes the reports center to entertain the latest entries into this examination center. So if I'm clicking upon the course from here, I can select the course from, like, say grade 08. That's what I need to select from here, and on clicking generate, marks will be generated, or the reports can be generated from here. And again the flash message which comes up asks you to enter a scheduled job thing. So scheduled job are the things where we will be able to have a heavy interactions with the database. So we can just go to this part from here and keep on refreshing the page so that we will be knowing the status of the same. In the meanwhile, we can just go to our exams and see the report center once it has been finished up. So once the report has been done, it will be available in your report center. So the report center is the basic the hub where we can enter some basic reports for the particular examination or particular students. So we can get here the variety of reports made with the exam wise report, the subject wise report, the grouped exam reports, or so on. So right now we can go to this exam wise report, see the reports here, select the exam group, and on clicking view we'll be able to get the reports from here. Now let's go to the batch that we just selected, say grade, that we just entered data in, the grade 8 batch, grade 8, and then the exam group exam 1, and then on hitting the button view we'll be able to see the marks of the student for that particular exam. And then we have this subject wise report where you'll be able to get the information of the particular report here. So we can select the grade say grade 8 from here. And then on clicking the button maths, you'll be able to see the subject wise report for the maths here. So this is the way how the reports can be generated. We do have a different kinds of report called the grouped exam reports, where we can see the grouped exam report for the batches. And archive student reports would give you the list of all the students who have already been passed and whose list are available in the archive reports here. So we can select the course for which we want the archive reports for, and the student ranking per subject would give you the list of all the students and their ranking available in a particular subject. So this would be the list of all the reports that one can sort of from here, and this completes your examination module. Now let's go and explore the finance, or the most important part of any module or any application. That's the finance part or the fees part. So the finance part starts off with the fees section, where we enter up the fees link from here. The fees link starts up with the create fees, schedule fee collection, and so on. So, and again in the fees part also we do have a workflow where we need to start up with the create fees link. So once we start up with the create fees link, we need to go deep into the schedule fee collection and then go to this collect the fees link here. So the create fees link actually helps you to create a fees with the category, particulars, discount, and fine. So once we click upon create category from here, we will be able to create or name the category. Let us say I would like to name the master category as master category 1 with a description and a selecting up of the batches. So once I've done the save button, I'll be able to create a master category, and whenever we are going to create a master category and assigning it to batches, it would be in that we would just create an empty templates from here, and in the course of creating up of this empty templates, we'll be putting some particulars into this. So on clicking create particulars, you will be able to stuff this empty template of category or master category with some particulars like the admission fees or the sports fees, computer fees, and so on. So this creating up of the particulars can actually be done in 3 different ways, whether it's for all, whether it's for admission number, or whether it's for student category. So I just can go to name part here and check upon the tuition fees from here, give it a description, and choose the relevant option from here. So if I'm choosing it as all, so all the batches that I'll be selecting for this master category 1 will be available here. So all the batches that I've selected will be having this tuition fees, and the amount will everyone will be liable to pay. And again, if I have this choose it as an admission number, so only those students from this particular batches will be able to will be asked to pay the fees. So if, and I can even separate which all admission number bearing students can have the fees here. And then comes the student category. So we can even choose which student category of the selected batches are supposed to pay the fees. So now we have created a particular, and then we can go to this create discount to create a discount for a batch, student category, and student. So having done with the creation of the particulars, creation up of the master category, so now it's time to give some discount for the students. So to give discounts, we can select the batch to which we want to give discount for. We can even select the student category to which we want to give discount for, and student along with the admission number to which we want to give discount for. So, and again, the discount mode can be made up as a percentage and can be made up as an amount also. So on clicking view discount, we'll be able to see all the discounts available for that particular batch. Then we have this generate fine link, where you will be able to make some fine rule sets, so that every student on selecting the fine rule set, if somebody has not paid the money after the deadline has crossed, he or she will be asked to pay the extra money that will be applicable for that particular fine rule set. So in this particular example with the fine rule name is SURGOR, we have this days after due. So if we have maintained something like this, and it can also be created from your end also. It's some user data that we have up here. So if somebody has to pay the money, has paying the money, student is paying the money after 1 day of the due date, we can enter it as 2%. And if you're entering it as after the fine amount as 3, so after the crossing up of the 2 days, he will be asked to pay 3% extra, and same goes for the third slot also. So if somebody is paying after 3 days of the due date, he will be asked to pay 4% extra. So that was how the generate fines or the fine rule sets can be put to use. So now this completes the creating up of the fees, generating up of the some particulars, fines and discounts. So now it's time to set up an ultimatum or a due date in which the student has to pay the fees for. So now you can go to the scheduled fee collection, create a fee collection from here, and select the category to which the fees are to be applicable. We can click a category from here and add an admission fee date, give it a fee collection name. So let us suppose the one that we just created was master category 1. And I can enter the fee collection date here, say August collection. So here an ultimatum date or last date is created along with the fine rule set. So this would mean that everyone who is paying the fees after this will be asked to pay 2% extra, and the last date to pay the fees would be this, and the due date would be this. So you'll be able to pay the fees from the start date, and after the due date the decision for the ultimate for the fine starts up. So the due date would actually be the reference from which the fine will be calculated for the students. Then having created this fee collection date, now you can go to this view and view the fee collection dates for the batch. The next thing would be go to collect the fees link, where the fees can be paid up. Again the fees can be paid up in two different ways. The fees can be paid for each student and can also be paid for each course also. So to pay the course wise method of fees includes the selection of a batch from the option from here, and then select a fee collection date from here. So you will be able to see the list of all the fines and list of all the particulars appear for this particular person, and batch from here, and then on clicking pay fees I'll be able to pay the fees for the student. So this was and once I paid the fees from here, once I paid the fees from here, I'll be able to pay the fees, or I'll be able to get a receipt of the same. And if I'm going to pay for a student, I can go to this option from here, say Sandeep, and the fee collection dates here, which he has not paid yet. And on clicking the pay fees, we will be able to pay the fees for the student. So this is the way how the fees can be paid up. And let us suppose you would like to make a partial payment for the student. You can also do so by clicking upon this, and you can make a partial payment like this, say 4,000, pay fees, and again when it comes to 4,000, again we can pay the fees here. So the payment history down here will be giving you the list of all the payments made on the respective date. So you can even print the receipt and get the receipt of the PDF that will give you the payment history and say the amount which is to be paid and the amount to pay from here. So this was all about how this payment of this fees can be done. And the next thing would be to see the fee structure of the student. So to see the fee structure, you can click upon fee structure from here, type the search option from here, say the fee structure of the student would be Sandeep. So To see the fee structure of Sandeep, I can click upon here, select the fee collection date, and on selecting the fee collection date, I'll be able to see the PDF report also. So this would give me the fee structure of a particular student. The next thing would be to go to this fee defaulters and see the course and the batch to which you want to see the defaulters for. So let's select upon the course and then the batch and the fee collection date. So here you will be getting the list of all the defaulters who haven't paid the fees along with the pay fees link against their name. So this pay fees link will allow you to pay the fees from here. So once the fees has been paid, you will be able to see the fees is paid, and this tab would not be coming up in the fee defaulters list. Then we have this fee refund where we'll be able to refund the fees for a student. So to refund the fees, first of all, we need to create a refund rule for a student who have not paid the fees yet. Let us suppose I'm putting it as refund as urgent refund, and the refund percentage would be 12, and it will be valid if it is taken for today only. So the refund validity of a refund percentage would always be 1. And now we can even view the refunds also which has been taken from one time to another. So now if somebody pays the fees for this May collection, we will be able to know how these fees can be paid and how this refund can be taken up. So let us suppose for this particular thing called May collection, or this person has not paid the fees. So on clicking pay fees, he will be able to pay the fees, and whenever you go to take the refund, it will be available up or this will be available up for this apply refund up here. So on clicking Sabya, we can select the name of the student and the fee collection to which he has to be refunded. So since the payment has been made, on clicking refund, the student will be refunded the particular amount. So that's how the refund works, and all the refund that you have made will be available up in this view refunds also, along with the person's name whose refund we have given forward. So that's all about how this fees can be taken up in the finance section. So now let's move upon to the category here. So the category that you'll be choosing up here comes up with the option of creating a new category for the finance. So we can create a category and specify whether it is under the income or whether it's under expense. So once it's done here, it will be available up in the transactions. So we can add the expenses from here by typing the title, a description, and an amount. So let us say I would like to add an expense as expense 1, description 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with an amount of say 1200 or 12,000, and the category expenses. So on hitting the button save, I'll be able to create my own expense and it will be added to this account. So and all the expense that has been created will be seen up from the start date and end date here. Similarly, I can also add some incomes by putting it as a title as incomes, description, amount 12,000, date, select the category, say playground rent, and on hitting the button save, I'll be able to get the income here. So that's the way how these expenses and incomes can be managed up in Fedina. And you can even get the list of all the repeated transactions that has been made from one time to another. So the repeated transactions would mean that any transaction that has been occurred by mistake, you can even revert back, and the list of all the same will be available in the repeated transactions list of the transactions link from the finance. Then we have this donations part where you'll be able to enter the donor name, the description, and the amount from here. The donor name that you're seeing up here, let us say I would like to enter the donor name as Deepak, description as, and the amount say 12. And on clicking add, I'll be able to add the donations for that particular person, and all the donations made as of now will be available up in this donors link from here. Then comes the automatic transactions. So automatic transactions are quite handy in places where you would always have a fixed percentage where a transaction has to be cut off because of some reasons, because of some norms laid by the government and so on. Let us say for every time you make a donation, you have to make a 5% reduction, so the cess might be deducted from your amount. So in those cases you can give the title as cess and the percentage is 5%. So every time a donation is made, a 5% will be deducted from this thing. And then comes the payslip. So as I mentioned before, like the payslip is always a two-step process where the person who's in charge of HR has to apply for a payslip, and the person who's in charge of finance has to either approve it or reject it. So once it's approved, or to approve it, you can go to this view payslip and the departments and the month, and on hitting the button view, you'll be able to view the payslip of the person. So on, and again the further view button against the respective person name will give you the option of viewing the complete breakup of payroll, and if you want to approve it, you can approve it from here. You can even put a remark of the same also. So that's the way how the payslips can be viewed up, and you can even approve the payslip of all of your employees at a go also. So by clicking upon one click approve payslip, you'll be asked to select the month, and if the payslip has been created for all the employees, on clicking one click approve payslip, you will be able to approve it. And the next comes the finance reports. The finance report, as the name suggests, helps you to take the reports of all the transactions that has been made. So if I'm going to make a report of all the transactions that has been made for today, I can click upon display report and see it with a graph with the incomes and expenses as here. And going further deep into any one of these particulars, you'll be getting to know more information about the same here. So that is all about how this finance can be taken up. Further, we have an asset liability management and some other plugins which we will be covering up in our add-on modules video. So now the next, or the most important part of, not the last part of the video, was to carry up the data and reports part. So the data and reports part, in the core modules we have one of the feature which asks you to have the which lets you to have all the reports of your institution. So let us suppose we have the reports and we want to get the reports from here. So we can click the reports and put a course, batch and student employee list. So on clicking course, you'll be able to see the list of all these courses available here, and seeing the batch, you'll be able to see all the batches available here, and so on. And going further deep into any one of these links, you will be able to see the name and the students who are actually studying in that particular course and batch. Then we have this course and batch details, former student details and former employee details also. So these reports will help you to get a clutch upon all the courses that you have, all the former student details from one period to another. So this will give you the list of all the students who have left the institution. And then we have these payroll details, where you'll be able to see the payroll details of all the employees. So employee would, and the respective payroll details, the subject details, and the feed defaulter details. So these reports would help you to take all the possible reports that can be available up here. So this completes your reports and the major part of Fedina core module. So now we are left with a couple of small modules like the event management and the internal messaging system. So let's start off with the internal messaging system, where we will be able to send or create messages to create messages and send it to different persons in the application. So on clicking create, you'll be able to select the name, and you'll be able to select the batches and the departments to which the reminder is to be sent. So this is basically an internal messaging system where we can send messages from one person to another, the account of one person to another, by just selecting upon the department, the batch, and the parent to the student. So once we have entered made up the selections to whom this is to be sent, we can select the person and send the message accordingly. So we can enter the subject along the message, and the respective recipients will be getting the internal messages for the same. Then comes the event management. So event management can be accessed from this. The event management can be accessed from this quick links from here. So you can access the event creation option from here and give it a description, the title, and here you can specify whether this particular event is a holiday or not, or whether this event is common to all or not. So once you have done this and created an event, it will be available up in the calendar, and you will be asked to enter which all persons would have an direct involvement with this event. So it will be available in the calendar of the respective person. So this calendar would say the events, may it be the events that you have just created, or the examinations, or the holidays, or the dues that you have from here. Then comes the news option. So the news, being the last part of this video, helps you to create a news and add a news from here, and this will be available for all the users in the application once created using this publish news option from here. And again, if there is a comment, you can even comment it, and the admin can also moderate any other comments which are any other undesired comments from here. So this completes your total video of, or total tutorial of the webinar on core modules. We would like to thank you for your patience for that you have given us regarding this video. So we will be also be coming up with some more videos like it, so that you can be helped out and have the optimal implementation of Fedina at your end. Thank you. Have a good day.